If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hello once again from Pisa in Italy. In the last episode of the podcast, we discovered what this city had to offer by day. Now it's time to explore it by night. Welcome to Travelcaster, the travel pod that takes you there. Our journey so far has taken us from the UK to Tuscany in Italy. We've been close to the Leaning Tower but not gone up it. Got a better view from a nearby height and discovered why Pisa is about so much more than its eponymous Leaning Tower. But as dusk settles in and the sun sets, there's so much more to do yet. Welcome to Pisa, early evening at the Corso Italia. You don't always get jazz on this corner, but during July and August, they're doing something of a revival. Pisa Jazz Rebirth, it's called. Feels less like Tuscany and more like New Orleans, the French Quarter. As the bells ring for the Angelus, that's 6 o'clock if you're not Catholic, many people look and think and contemplate life. They don't do this in the church, of course, in Italy. They go to the pub for an aperitivo, a light drink, to celebrate the breaking of the evening. And there are loads of places that you can do it. One thing I really like about Pisa is the fact that there are loads and loads of little bars on back streets. This one, for instance, Orzo Bruno, the Brown Bear, is a wonderful place for craft beer. It's adjacent to the main shopping street in the new town. If you're heading towards the tower, take a right and it's the next street along. And it's indoors, outdoors. I'm sitting here at the terrace overlooking the street where the traffic's going past, not too much traffic, and people are walking past too. It's a great place for people watching. Across the road, a very small piazza where you can enjoy some outdoor drinking, if that's your thing. And it's really the convergence of 3 or 4 bars in this area, all merging into one. Make sure you sit at the correct tables for the correct establishment though, otherwise the owners will give you a hard stare. One other thing to bear in mind, I mentioned this in the daytime, in the evening you'll get a fair few hawkers coming up to you at your table, offering you maybe some leather goods or some pearls or some t-shirts or any old tat that they've got in their bag. Up to you whether you buy them, of course, but they can be slightly off-putting. Never mind, it's not going to spoil the atmosphere. This is laid back. This is aperitivo time. This is a time for relaxing. Now, if you listened to the last episode of the podcast, you will remember this place, the Piazza del Vettovagli, the Piazza of Pain. During the daytime, there was a quaint little touristy market going on. It was all very quiet, but by evening, well, it turns into something else. Restaurants and bars abound, all with slightly different themes, all vying for your service. And after the aperitivo, well, I needed dinner. If you want to do it properly in Italy, you probably end up eating 4 or 5 courses. I once went to an Italian wedding. I didn't stop eating for 7 hours, but you can do it a little bit more simply, just 1 or 2 courses if that's what your thing is. And here at the Piazza, I've chosen the Osteria da Fermento, the House of Fermentation, I think that translates to. And there was plenty of fermentation with the most enormous wine list. Absolutely stunning. Loads of choice. In terms of the meal itself, well, I went for something quite simple as well. Steak with parmesan and rocket. Something of an Italian speciality if you don't really like your pizza or your pasta. I don't know about the Piazza of Pain, but after the size of the steak I've just consumed, there might be a bit of heartburn between now and dawn. Nothing says Italy like a good old-fashioned traffic jam, and there is one this evening in Pisa. This has been caused by a religious parade that passed by my hotel a few moments ago. Didn't quite catch the meaning of it all, but there was a lot of praying. The Virgin Mary on some kind of float. Can't be the May Queen, can it? It's July, unless they have some sort of other ceremony for Mary in July here. Anyway, it's passing extremely slowly down the street. Now it's turned onto the road by the River Arno, and the traffic is backing up rather impatiently. What I really like about Pisa's nightlife is that it can be anything that you want it to be. In this small square here, for instance, we've got a bit of a party atmosphere going on in the Spritz bar behind me. There's a CB weed shop in front of us if you fancy some cannabis type products, and where I've had dinner tonight is Medicio, whatever it's pronounced, it's good. It's burgers and craft beer, the first in Pisa to do both as pairings. Basically, whatever you have on the menu, they recommend a beer to go with it, and very delicious it is too. Although it's a bit pretentious on the website, you have to first of all log in and do a QR code to order your food. It takes you to a website then, where it's got pictures of the staff, variously described as Matteo, the cute one, and Niccolo, the bad one. I'm here for a burger, not a date. Although the Monzo, the beef, bellissimo. The nighttime atmosphere along the Via Domenico Caveca is among the most laid-back you'll find in Pisa. Little bars and trattorias sit side by side. It's the perfect place to unwind after a long day of exploring. And before you go to bed, come here, back to the main bridge. Yeah, the traffic might still be whizzing around at this time of the evening, but if you just look over the bridge itself, you can see the River Arno. It doesn't look that pretty during the day, but at night, lit up as the sun is setting, it's absolutely stunning. As one of Italy's leading university cities, Pisa has got plenty to entertain you at night, maybe during term time. But in the heat of a sweltering July, you need something that's a bit more laid back, and that's what I found here. Something for everyone. Great food, great drink, and not too much fuss. Also, not as expensive as you might think. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Travelcaster. If you'd like to know how to get here and what to do when you arrive, just head to travelcaster.blog. And of course, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening. And join us again soon for more Travelcaster, the travel pod that takes you there.